In the 7th universe, Whis facing Goku, who was sitting in the lotus posture on top of a board that was on a very sharp white thorn. The Saiyan was meditating on orders from Whis, who said that a clear mind would be more useful in being able to control the transcendental divine ki. That was something that needed great concentration, or at least a clear and calm mind. Goku said, "Whis, how much longer will I have to stay in this posture? You said that I would have to do this to improve my concentration and make my mind clearer, so that I could better use the transcendental divine energy. But you also said that I would do this until I had digested the food that I had eaten, apart from those bitter herbs you gave me." Goku said, opening one of his eyes and looking at his master, who was drinking tea made from the same herbs that the Saiyan had to eat minutes ago. Whis said, "You're right. I think it's time to start your training, more physical than mental. But keep in mind that you will have meditation sessions to improve your performance in the use of transcendental divine energy. But you will only do this during some breaks in your physical training," said Whis before getting up and hitting his staff on the ground, making the thorn and the board below Goku disappear. And as Goku was imagining he would do that, Goku ended up falling on his butt on the ground, which generated some laughter from Whis. Goku said, "Hey, Goku said, complaining about having fallen so suddenly to the ground. And as the god of destruction's planet is heavier than the gravity of planet Earth, the pain was a little greater, but nothing really serious. Whis said, "You are one of the most powerful mortals in all of the universes, and you still feel pain when you fall from a small height like this. And even though the gravity of this planet is greater, it is still no reason for you to complain about pain like this. In reality, if your mind was emptier, your body could act on instinct, so you don't get hurt when you fall to the ground," Whis said, giving a slight reprimand to his disciple, who stood up and sighed while scratching the back of his neck in a slightly embarrassed manner. After all, Whis was right about what he said. Goku said, "I can't deny that. After all, I've never been the most mentally concentrated person. I only stay focused when I'm in a fight or training. Now, leaving that aside, what will my new training be?" Goku asked in a more excited tone. After all, he was eager to learn how to create weapons with transcendental ki. Whis said, "Your new training will be the same as an old training you did, and if I'm not already mistaken, it was with one of the Kaio Lords that you met when you lost your life for the first time. And in this training, you will wear clothes with weights embedded in them," said Whis to Goku, who was surprised that his new training was something so simple. Goku said, "I remember this training. At that time, I always wore heavy clothes. And there was that time I went to fight Tian Shan in a martial arts tournament, so I took off those clothes to be able to fight more freely. And even though it was simple, it was a good method training at the time," Goku said while remembering the past, when he used heavy clothes to increase his strength and speed. But Goku had abandoned this training some time ago. Whis said, "One piece of information that you may not know is that it was the angels who created those clothes with weights, and I was the one who created those clothes that you wore. In reality, they weren't exactly those clothes that I created, but Kaio used them and altered them, your presence to suit you and your style of dress. In fact, something that neither you nor Vegeta know is that all of Mr. Beerus's clothes are extremely heavy, weighing more than a few thousand tons. And even though Beerus is very strong, he uses them to balance his ki, and for that reason, you will wear these clothes with weights," spoke Whis, before his clothes were simply exchanged for the clothes of a god of destruction. Goku was surprised by that information, but when he remembered that in the past Whis revived Frieza after the Tournament of Power, the fact that the angel had changed his clothes, it wasn't that surprising. Guys, before continuing this epic story, leave your like, and of course, if you want to help the channel, leave your super thanks below and help the channel financially, and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. Goku said, "I admit that this was something surprising, but not so much considering the things you've already done. Creating and changing your clothes quickly is something very simple to do. But I have to admit that I never expected to see you wearing the clothes of a god of destruction like Mr. Beerus," Goku said while analyzing the god of destruction clothes that his current master was wearing, which were the same as Beerus's. Whis said, "Wow, I look beautiful in this outfit. I haven't worn in a while. And Goku, don't worry, because I will create perfect clothes for you. And before you ask me what the purpose of all this is, it will be for you to create a weapon made from your ki. but you will have to solidify your ki this way," spoke Whis before releasing his staff and opening his hand where the angel's ki ended up overflowing and transforming into a scythe, made of ki that was exactly the same as the one Zamasu from the future who was in Goku's body ended up creating and using against Goku and Vegeta. Goku said, "Wow, you created the scythe again in such a simple way. And it's the same one that Goku Black used against me and Vegeta when he and I went to Trunks' future," Goku said, surprised to see the ki scythe in Whis' hands, which was the same as Black's, but the difference was that Whis' scythe was blue, and it emanated monstrous ki. Whis said, "Exactly, Mr. Goku. Zamasu or Black was a Kaio who ended up stealing his body in the future, and he ended up defeating all the other Kaio lords by killing all the gods of destruction, and Black had great control over his own divine power, and he had the ability to use some of the transcendental divine energy, something that Black only achieved by mastering his own divine power. And make no mistake, this scythe is a key weapon, solidified in a complete and not incomplete way like Vegeta is capable of using," said Whis, showing some scenes where Goku Black appeared using his pink ki scythe. Goku said, "Now I think I understand. I knew that Black was someone powerful, but I didn't know that he had such great mastery to the point of using transcendental divine energy. But thinking about it now, I can see that Black's ki scythe was not normal. After all, he managed to create a kind of temporal distortion, generating clones of him that were used to face Vegeta," Goku said, surprised to learn that information about Black, and analyzing that situation, Goku understood why Black's energy scythe was so strong. Whis said, "Indeed, taking into account what you went through when facing Black, you should already have a brief idea of the power level of a user of transcendental divine energy. You will train wearing weighted clothes to balance your ki, and when you manage to generate a ki scythe like this, using your divine energy and still maintaining the energy scythe for a few minutes, you'll be ready for the next step." Whis spoke, undoing his ki scythe, and then in a snap of his fingers, the angel created God of Destruction clothes for Goku. But instead of details being blue, they were black and red, and all the pieces of clothing were very heavy. He ended up falling to the ground, hitting his face hard on the ground. Goku spoke, "I knew these clothes were heavy, but I wasn't expecting them to be heavier than the ones you made me wear when we trained in the past," Goku said as he stood up, little by little using all his strength, but still in his base form. Whis said, "I recommend that you quickly get used to this weight, because the clothes have a function that increases the weight daily. So get used to it soon, and don't turn into a Super Saiyan, because this will hinder your evolution, and mainly it will harm your body and balance of your ki," Whis said before giving a small smile to his disciple, who just sighed. With that, we come to the end of today's video. If you want to see the continuation of this incredible story, leave a lot of likes on this video and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on another day, guys.